First-time voter Kiera Campbell is a devout Christian. She's struggling to pick a candidate in this November's presidential election. She says neither candidate appeals to her values.
I'd rather not vote than vote for something that I disagree with.
In accordance with her faith, she says she doesn't support same-sex marriage. Last May, the state's voters overwhelmingly passed Amendment 1, which banned it.
Vote for marriage on May 8th.
The passage came the day before President Obama announced his support for same-sex marriage.
For me personally, it is important for me to go ahead and affirm that I think same-sex couples should be able to get married.
That comment has landed the president in hot water with Campbell and other black religious voters in North Carolina.
Voting against our faith for a secular choice is basically how we view choosing the world over God, and you shouldn't do that.
Many African-American religious leaders supported Amendment 1. So did their congregations. Pastor Andy Thompson leads a congregation 10,000 strong at World Overcomers Christian Church in Durham, North Carolina. He says election season has left his congregation conflicted.
It can put an African-American Christian in a real quandary as to what they are supposed to do.
He's not encouraging his congregation to vote for either party.
I'm not right-wing, I'm not left-wing. It takes both wings to fly the plane.
Blacks make up 22% of the state population. They came out heavily in support of Obama in 2008.
He took the state with only 14,000 more votes than John McCain. The results weren't known for days, it was so close.
Professor Jim Johnson studies demographics at UNC Chapel Hill's Keenan Flagler Business School. He says the political trends in North Carolina are moving away from traditional stereotypes.
I don't think it's smart to take for granted that all blacks are Democrats.
Professor of Southern politics Farrell Guillory says North Carolina's diverse electorate doesn't vote solely on social issues.
We've got to realize that most voters aren't just single-issue voters. They live their lives in many dimensions, and they will look at candidates not only on a particular issue, but on a range of issues.
College students were some of the president's biggest supporters 4 years ago, but that support may have softened. And the Young Democrats president, Austin Gilmore, says his group has upped efforts to register voters on campus.
We know that turnout is really the name of the game this time around.
And Gilmore says African Americans should be sympathetic to the plight of same-sex couples.
And honestly, African Americans should not be so short-sighted as to forget that the same ideological underpinnings that are supporting laws that prohibit same-sex couples from getting married, from having the same types of benefits, that same exact type of logic was used to support Jim Crow.
Chairman of the North Carolina Federation of College Republicans, Greg Steele, says he isn't worried about social issues.
For a lot of younger Republicans, a lot of us are saying, let's get away from social issues, let's fix this economy.
And he's confident his candidate will snag North Carolina in the presidential election.
I think we've got North Carolina locked up.
Campbell says she's looking for divine intervention to help her with her first time at the polls.
Hopefully, by the time of the election, my prayers will have been answered to guide me to whether I should vote and whether or who I should vote for.
As Election Day approaches, undecided voters like Campbell, conflicted by social conservatism and liberal political views, could very well make the difference in an already tight race.